With Jupiter and Gemini, you truly have a very interesting, very universal reach in this world. You have the energy Jupiter, how do you use that hyperbole? Jupiterianly? You have the energy of the age that we're going into in your Jupiter, at least, who knows where else. Now, before I go on to the amazing, truly amazing, beautiful role that this energy has to play in the ever-changing world, I want to make it clear that with this energy, it's not like, and with any energy, it's not like you're more important or you're somehow more special or anything than anyone else. I want to make that very, very, very clear. Every single placement energetically has its beautiful, beautiful, irreplaceable role to play. So, now that that's established, Jupiter and Aquarius, holy shit. I mean, we are going into, like I said, the Aquarian age. We have been for, I think it could be argued since about the American-French Revolution time, so the late 1700s. And steadily we've been progressing more and more and more. We've been faced with struggles, yes, but beautiful progress as for human rights, tolerance. If you think about it, the Emancipation Proclamation, the abolition of slavery by much of the Western world in the early 1800s, the huge technological and industrial revolution happening in the 1800s, early 20th century. And of course, the amazing revolution of the internet, of technology that enables this right now to be happening. You watching on some screen something that I filmed, another human being, on some screen with technology that didn't exist even a couple of years ago. So that's amazing. I mean, the fact that we live in this hugely linked, hugely progressive age is already a fantastic. Yay! Just yay. To have Jupiter in Aquarius, you are directly linked into this huge progress of ideas, of human sentiment and value, like humanitarianism, of uplifting not only yourself as an individual, but other people as well, seeing that they're your brothers and your sisters. You have an innate just understanding of these things. Jupiter is the planet of higher thinking, of horizon expansion, of education, of values. Not so much Venusian values of right and wrong, but philosophical values. And there's a lot that overlaps, but Jupiter's realm is very much more the why am I living? What is my purpose? What am I doing here? What is my life journey? What does that mean? Just constantly questioning these things. So to have Jupiter in Aquarius, you are deeply in tune with the universal consciousness, the mass consciousness of humanity. And you could even just go beyond that to say life, to say the universe. Ultimately, Aquarius consciousness is beyond any limitation. It is encompassing the whole, however you want to put that, as God, the multiverses that form, one cohesive unit, however you want to articulate it and however you do articulate it in your world, in your mind. But you truly are with this energy keyed in. One of my really beautiful sisters, one of my great friends, has this energy. And I'm always amazed by her tolerance, by her incredible intelligence. She studied with me abroad in France, and beforehand we studied together, both French and Spanish. She's an incredibly intelligent woman, and not just with languages, but just in general. She's so great at linking people together. She was, I mean, I'm an extremely tolerant person myself, but she had this amazing knack, and I always have linked it to Jupiter and Aquarius, that energy, of this amazing knack to tie in all these groups together and make a cohesive oneness, just with her presence, just with her actions, those little things that she would say here and there that would tie everyone together. She was such a strong individual. She is such a strong individual. And again, Jupiter and Aquarius, man, it's incredible how your guys' consciousness unites everybody, and how you see the universal whole. and how everybody fits in together, and how to communicate that, and how to make progress with that. Aquarius is a fixed sign. It's very stubborn, and for good reasons, and maybe challenging reasons too. We'll get to that. But the beautifulness, the beautiful side to this stubbornness is that you live out your ideals. Your ideals are very real for you. They're very strong. And you stick with them. And they're very clear for you, and they guide you so well. And in guiding you, and the more that you harmonize yourself with your ideals, with your visions, then the more that you harmonize those around you. And again, ultimately, with this energy, you reach everyone. Never doubt that your actions, even just little words and actions of each day, ripple, as they will in this age. With this energy, you are gifted with the philosophy of Aquarius. You're gifted with having an in-depth, in-touch understanding of those ideals, again, of humanitarianism, of progress socially, economically, mentally, physically, spiritually. I mean, on every single level, Aquarius is about revolution and progress. And revolution doesn't have to be a violent thing of, guns and killing. It's in fact even more powerful when it's intellectual, when it's done with love instead of destruction, and done with love instead of hate. And again, you get this automatically with this energy. Even if earlier on in your life you were taught or you believed that destruction or hate was the way to truly make a revolution, a positive revolution in this world, eventually you come to realize with this energy, it's inevitable that there's no stronger revolution than the revolution of love, of all-encompassing, all-inclusive, incredibly tolerant, infinitely tolerant love. And that ultimately, no matter how different we are as human beings, we still are human beings. And even beyond the realm of humanity, as different as we can be as biological beings, all life is united. And even beyond life, everything is united. Every single thing that exists, this water bottle, for example, everything is united. And what's beautiful is this philosophy continues as you grow. Certainly with my sister, well, my friend who's my sister, my sibling, her consciousness is only expanded larger and larger and larger as in the years that I've known her. And she's been more and more comfortable with taking on that role of being that positive revolutionary, being the person that I love having philosophical conversations with her. And it's been a while since we've had some. Hopefully, the universe will work that we come back together. I'm sure we will now after making this video. But that we'll have more philosophical conversations. But I just remember back in France, we would get together after class and just talk. And I have Jupiter and Leo, by the way, the partner placement for Jupiter and Aquarius. So I have a natural, this energy just it sparks, Aquarius, air, Leo, fire, sparks me and inspires me. I just remember talking with her, and I would just listen to her. And it was just incredible to hear her perspective. Incredible to hear her ideas of life. And she was so philosophical. And again, so communicative. It's an air philosophy. She would just say little things about what life meant to her, and it was so inspiring to me. And I have learned so much from her, and I know I will continue to learn so much from her. And there's a nice back and forth with my Jupiter and Leo, but won't get into that. Jupiter and Aquarius. But, that back and forth does speak to the beautiful side of Jupiter and Aquarius. Again, that tolerance, is that ability to listen. There's such a gift in being able to speak, yes, but there's even more of a gift in being able to truly listen to what a person is saying and to absorb those words as wisdom and not just waiting for your turn to speak. In fact, I would say that's one of the big challenges for this energy, is to be intellectually superior, to have that mentality, to have that attitude of, I'm not going to listen to other people. I know exactly how to live my life. I am not even going to question, it's not even so much questioning, I guess, even though that's part of it, is I'm not even going to listen to what other people have to say. As every fixed sign, you got to get over that stubborn energy. You got to get over that, I know best. I'm right. I don't even want to listen to other people, that it just doesn't serve you as much as having that strength, but being able to be strong enough, and it truly is a matter of strength, to listen as well, to be so solid in yourself, to be able to actually hear what the other person is saying, and not, again, be waiting for your chance to speak, or be waiting to refute them or to knock them down or anything. Now, one of the beautiful things I want to clarify with this energy truly is the ability to think, and the ability to sort through thoughts, especially of philosophical nature. And so it is important to question. It is important to say to other people, well, what about this? What about that? But there is a difference between, and it's very ironic because Aquarius is, an egoless sign. It's air. It's not fire. But there is very much an ego. Is ego the way to put it? It's centered not on the fire plane of ego and of, that kind of energy, but more the mental airplane. It's maybe less so ego as a mental block, as, again, like I was saying, only my way is right. Only my way is worth considering. I don't even need to think about other people's ways. That's the challenge. I find that's the biggest challenge with this energy, is just to get over yourself, basically. Just like the story of every Aquarius and Leo, is to get over yourself and to embrace the broader picture. Because once you do that, then you're in tune, ironically, with yourself, most of all, and with everyone around you. Your strength is rooted in yourself, but your vision, your picture, is involving everything. And to find somebody who's actualized, self-actualization, somebody who's at the top of that energy, who's risen through the challenges. And again, I've said it in many a video, we all have our challenges, and we all have our obstacles that are really just learning experiences, learning opportunities. Once we get over those, when we reach the higher form, what we really have to offer in our fullest potential, which, by the way, is infinite. Our fullest potential is infinite. There's no cap, and you know this as Jupiter and Aquarius. You know instinctively that every single person there has no limit. That once you're in a self-loving cup overflowing, being able to love the entire universe, including and especially your fellow human beings, that there's no limit to that, and it just keeps going. And your consciousness and your self-knowledge and your knowledge of others and your knowledge of the universe and all of its wonder and its magic is infinite, and it just keeps going. So all you really got to do is be couched in your humanitarian philosophy, and again, your unconditional love for yourself and your unconditional love for others. You may question others. You may point out discrepancies and hypocrisies in others, and especially in their philosophies and ways of being. That's your role. It is, to act as that voice of the other side, the devil's advocate. But again, it's also your role to learn from others. And it's not your duty to change others. You can only be your own self, your own revolutionary, absolutely forward-thinking, progressive self, yes. But it's not up to you. You don't have this burden of changing other people. And in fact, nobody has that burden to change other people. And again, you instinctively know this, but it's good to keep thinking about this and to bring it up consciously and to keep that in mind every single moment of every single day, that your duty is ultimately just to develop your own philosophy and to deliver it to as many people, as you wish, yes. But ultimately, what's most important is your own mind and your own development of your philosophy. And that goes, that's true for everyone, but especially you with Jupiter and Aquarius. Because again, once you do that, you have your own unique perspective on the world. And you're connected with the entirety of the world. Where to go from here? Okay, so another aspect of Jupiter is luck, is fortune, prosperity, opportunities. How to maximize that. With Jupiter and Aquarius, it's pretty much what I was saying before. To develop your mind, to develop your philosophy on the world, on humankind, on what it is to be a human, and what it is to love other humans unconditionally, to be tolerant, to unite the world under a common philosophy of, again, tolerance, of love, of human harmony, of maximizing your own individualistic potential to maximize the potential of the entire world, entire universe for that matter. And so the more you're in tune with your own self as an individual, an uncompromising, idealistic, and yet very pragmatic as well, individual, that's how you maximize your luck. That's how you attract all of the beautiful things that life has to offer. That's how Jupiter's energy is working for you, is when you're, again, couched in your own philosophy and when you're comfortable in exactly who you are, and comfortable being the agitator, the person who kind of shakes things up. That's the role of Uranus. Both Saturn and Uranus rule Aquarius. And Uranus is, mythologically speaking, well, I won't go there. I don't think we have enough time, honestly. Well, no, whatever. There's more relevant things to talk about. Uranus is sideways. It's actually rolling in its orbit around the solar system. No other planet is like that. It has such a hugely different just composition. Well, not compositionally, because I think actually Uranus and Neptune are very similar in their chemical compositions. But I mean, to see a planet rolling through the solar system instead of, for example, Earth rotating is just fascinating. I mean, of course, Uranus is, you get what I'm saying, it's rolling. And it's interesting to note, too, that Uranus and Neptune have very weird orbits and they affect each other, and sometimes Uranus is, beyond Neptune, and sometimes... the point is this, Uranus is a crazy planet, and that's one of the beautiful things. That's why we're going through such huge changes as per humanity. We've been going through such beautiful growths and so much genius. That is one of the other hallmarks of this planet, is its genius and how it impacts us human beings. It gets us to think about things in different ways. It gets us to have flashes of insight that are very progressive and get us to truly revolutionize our entire lives. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, what have you. And so, embrace this. Your life will get better in all realms. When you embrace your Jupiterian energy, you embrace your higher consciousness, your expansion of your horizons. And again, mentally, physically, all of it. But especially mentally, being that Aquarius is air, is intellectual, logical, abstract. And you'll also just attract amazing opportunities that you never could dream of towards you. That is the energy of Jupiter. And when you harmonize with that energy, opportunities just come in. So work on yourself. Work on being your true, original, authentic self. Work on contributing to society and being your own individualistic, authentic self. Work on teaching. This is a wonderful teaching energy, and my friend actually is, I believe she's teaching in France right now. I'm not sure. I really gotta call her. It's been too long. But this energy is all about uplifting humankind and through the mind. And so the classroom is one of the most perfect places for a Jupiter, Aquarian Jupiterian, in which you can have that incredible idealism of uplifting individuals, and you can work with people day by day to achieve their fullest potential. Education works wonders. Education is such an amazingly alchemical process in which you have all these different, rather haphazard materials coming together, human beings with such vastly different temperaments and interests, even if they're united by one common interest, whatever the classroom is teaching, or, the theme is. But all these people come together and wonderful things come about. It's truly one of the most Aquarian places that you can be. In fact, I can't really think of a more Aquarian place than perhaps, say, a rock concert. And even those, they're so important for very different reasons. But so find your arena for your Jupiter and Aquarius to come out. Your comfortable place. Arena connotates kind of like violence, and no, that's not what I'm looking to say. But find your teaching podium, if you will, whether that's a stage, again, or a rock concert, or literally a teaching podium, or maybe you're an orator with this energy, and so you have a delivering a speech, whatever it is that gets your originality out there and your view of the world, your beautiful harmonizing infinitely tolerant, progressive, intelligent view of the world out there, and your philosophies out there. Do it. Writing, excellent. Whatever. You'll know better than anyone else in the world. So find that, embrace it, and pursue that infinitely. And I swear to you, with this Aquarian age, you will find incredible success, more vast than you could possibly ever imagine. And even more than just material success and more meaningful is you'll find mental and emotional and spiritual success. You'll find your role in this beautiful experiment that is life. In general, I mean, this is such a beautiful experiment, but little in that, but in this age of such change, in which we have given ourselves such tools, with the help of energies and vibrations, we have been uplifted so much, and we still, I mean, every single moment is a chance for uplifting, and it's up to us where we want to go with this. So let's dedicate ourselves to going somewhere positive, somewhere uplifting for everyone. Somewhere where we can truly be happy and be always fulfilling our potential more and more and more. Again, it's infinite, man. So let's follow that. And in doing so, for you as an individual, as you follow that, you'll be more fulfilled than you could possibly ever imagine. And you'll be fulfilling your fellow brothers and sisters so much more than you could possibly ever imagine. Again, to just go to the vastest realm there is, you'll be fulfilling the universe more than could possibly ever be imagined. So many people wouldn't understand that, but with Jupiter and Aquarius, I know you do. Okay, so I think I have a little bit of time left to talk about some famous Jupiter Aquarians. I think it's interesting to note that Barack Obama has this energy. Now, I think that we've definitely not seen the best potential. That's fucking NSA spying and whatnot to just begin the list. But I have hope that, by the end of this term, hopefully we'll have seen him enact his fullest potential of truly revolutionizing our government, for one, which is such a huge part of this world, to make it less geared towards special interests and less geared towards, oligarchies and whatnot, to actually serve the interests of the people. And if not, then we'll figure it out ourselves. I mean, the age of Aquarius is the age of revolution. And again, we can do it peacefully. We should do it peacefully. At all costs. Well, not at all costs, but that's where we need to begin. Armed revolution is the last alternative. But, so we'll see. Albert Einstein, perfect example of that genius, of that teaching of the world. It's beautiful. Princess Diana, again, of that all-encompassing. It comes into mind her hugging, leper children. Perfect example of all-inclusiveness, of that love. Charles de Gaulle, the famous French politician who really did lead France for so many years, including in World War II, the Free French in the UK. Oh, I'm swiftly running out of time. Jim Carrey, George Clooney, very amazingly unique individuals. Meryl Streep, Tyra Banks. It's excellent. Okay, I've run out of time, but universal love to you, my beautiful, beautiful sibling. Namaste. Go, be yourself. Lovely. See you.